Good evening, dear listeners. Welcome to today's emotional time. I'm your old friend, and tonight, I want to share a real story with you. This story comes from one of our listeners. She is 31 years old, works in the public system, independent and strong. Yet she has been struggling, feeling lost, and doubting herself in a 6-year relationship. She asked, should I get married or start over? Can I still find someone better? Let's listen to her story together. Perhaps her confusion is something you are experiencing too. She was born in a small county with an average family background. Her father had back problems and a bit of a temper. Her mother was hardworking, doing everything she could to support her education. Life only improved after their home was demolished and compensated from a young age. She knew that studying was her only way out. She worked incredibly hard and eventually got a job in the public system, but was assigned to a small town 1,000 kilometers away from home, in that unfamiliar place. She had no sense of belonging, only work. She pushed herself relentlessly and was soon promoted to deputy section level, becoming the office director. During the day, she was constantly busy. At night, she often had to handle receptions and paperwork, leaving her completely exhausted. In July 2020, she met him. He was a temporary worker earning 2,600 yuan a month, simple, practical, and very different from her. She had just started working and didn't really understand love. She only felt that being with him was steady and comforting. So they got together. After that, conflicts slowly began to appear. Her workload increased, and after her promotion, she often had reception duties. Meanwhile, he failed several attempts at getting a permanent position and gradually gave up studying. He worked during the day and played video games at night. After a long day, she would come home exhausted, and see him gaming it frustrated her. He complained that she didn't spend enough time with him. They argued often, but after each fight, he would comfort her and things would return to normal. Later, he finally passed an exam and got a public institution job 550 kilometers away. She struggled with the decision, what about the long distance? But since it was such a hard-earned opportunity for him, she supported him. From then on, they entered a 2-year long-distance relationship. The first time was October 2022. She considered transferring closer to home, but because he was still a temporary worker at the time, she felt insecure and declined marriage. The second time was May 2023. After he moved away, she suddenly realized she might lose him and wanted to get married, but he said, let's wait until things are stable. Again, it didn't happen. The third time was December 2024. They went to buy appliances for their future home, but she was asked whether she wanted to transfer to a city position. She thought it was a great opportunity, 350 kilometers closer to him and also closer to her family. But he opposed it, saying his parents had invested a lot in renovating their hometown house, and he didn't want her to move. She suggested selling the house and buying in the city, or even renting, but he worried that with his lower education, he might never be able to transfer and could end up in a lifelong long-distance marriage. They had a huge argument. No furniture was bought, and the marriage discussion fell apart again. During those 2 years of long distance, she wanted to see him every week. She drove or took taxis across 350 kilometers, rain or shine. Once, her tire blew out. She handled it herself, didn't want to worry him, and only told him afterward. He reacted with indifference. This year, her father fell ill, suspected of lung cancer. She took him alone to Beijing for treatment and asked him to accompany her, but he said he couldn't get time off. During that period, she felt extremely helpless. After returning, she felt completely disheartened and wanted to break up. But then, she passed a transfer exam to the city, bringing them to 100 kilometers closer again. She thought things might improve, that he could visit every week, but they still argued over trivial matters. He said she was too materialistic. When she suggested looking at houses, he said, we've been together for 5 or 6 years. Why are you so focused on housing? Many of my classmates got married without even knowing where their house was. She already lacked a sense of security. Eventually, she stopped insisting and bought a house herself. After that, she felt it didn't matter whether he bought one or not. But she realized something. As long as she didn't complain, paid more, and avoided conflict, things would stay peaceful. If she got upset, she had to be the one to comfort him, sometimes even giving him multiple chances before he would respond. He cared deeply about fairness. If he bought her a phone for her birthday, he would expect her to buy him one of equal value when his broke. If he paid for a meal, he would ask what she would treat him to next. She asked me, if things are already like this before marriage, they probably won't change after. I'm starting to fear marriage. I feel uncomfortable in this relationship and worry I won't be happy. I don't know why I'm so conflicted. I'm almost 32. It's been 6 years I can't let go, but everything feels wrong. Dear listeners, at this point in the story, I want to talk to you. What pains me most here is not her effort, but her self-consumption. She is a typical people pleaser. Because of her father's condition growing up, she felt inferior. So she worked harder than anyone, studying hard, working hard, being good to others, afraid she wasn't enough, afraid she didn't deserve love. In this relationship, she has always been the understanding one. When her tire blew out, she handled it alone and didn't tell him. When he cared too much about money, she reduced her own expectations. When he didn't want her to move to the city, she compromised. When he stayed silent after arguments, she would be the one to break the ice. She said, I used to be naive, thinking a man had to pursue me before I considered whether I liked him. After reading certain advice, I realized love and marriage should be in my own hands. But what did she actually take control of? She took control of constant compromise, shrinking herself again and again just to maintain peace. This is not love. This is habit. She can't let go of the 6-year relationship, not because he still loves her, but because she fears the cost of starting over. She fears being 32 and starting again. She fears she won't find someone better. She fears those 6 years will be wasted. But I want to tell you a psychological concept, the sunk cost fallacy. Sunk costs are resources already spent and unrecoverable. Many people stay in relationships not because of love, but because they can't accept what they've already invested. But the truth is, those 6 years are already gone. Nothing you've given will come back. What you need to do now is not pay for the past, but choose for your future. If you stay in this relationship, what you lose is not just the next 6 years, but the possibilities of your entire future. Dear, 6 years is not easy, but the length of time has never been the standard of whether a relationship is worth it. The real question is, do you feel cherished, understood, and cared for? If the only way to maintain peace is by not complaining, if you have to pay more to keep balance, if you must swallow your emotions to avoid conflict, then you are not in love. You are working for a relationship that pays you nothing. You asked me, can I find someone better out there? My answer is, as long as you dare to step out, you will. Not because the outside world is better, but because you deserve better. Dear listeners, after hearing this story, what would you say to her? Have you ever been in a similar relationship? When did you decide to walk away from someone? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And to her, I want to leave you with this. You're not unable to let go of him. You're unable to let go of the version of yourself who gave everything for him. But you deserve to live for yourself. One more time. That's all for tonight. Good night, and may you have a peaceful dream.